Alright guys, the first step is to clean the surface area of the fog light and the surrounding area of the fog light recess or housing to ensure that one, the fog light surface is clean, but also two, clean the surface areas around it to ensure that no dirt debris will fall in and between your vinyl and the headlight surface as you're applying the vinyl to it. Once you've cleaned that off there, I'm just using a quick detail cleaner and wiping it down with, in this case, just a typical rag. I do a wipe down with an alcohol water mix, 70% isopropyl alcohol, i.e. rubbing alcohol, mixed approximately 30% water. That way the alcohol is not full 100% strength. And what that does, the alcohol will clean off any oils or residues and contaminants in there to make sure that the surface is fully prepared. And you can see I'm taking some time here to make sure that everything's nice and clean. I got the edges of the fog light surface lens there, or cap, cleaned off really well to ensure that everything adheres properly. Next step is I have a pre-cut piece of the Vvivid, in this case Vvivid brand Premium Plus transparent yellow tint, already pre-cut. It's about 6.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide. I just did a quick test to make sure that it will indeed cover it. And what I'm going to do here is peel some of the vinyl from the backing paper and then fold it over a little bit so I don't peel the whole thing quite yet. Now this is a dry application only type of vinyl. There are different types of vinyl tint, and there's dry and there's wet. And so what you'll want to do here is make sure that you don't put your fingers behind any area that you're going to be applying to, and that's why I left most of the backing paper on for now, and I'm just tacking it in place and holding the very edges. Once I've got it tacked in place, you can see that I'm pulling the backing paper and kind of tacking down right in the middle, across the middle of the fog light. Now the fog light does have a slightly curved surface to it, and so you can see I'm just using my finger to now just smooth out or lay the vinyl down, up and down the surface of the headlight. And I'm using my finger because of that curved surface versus a flat hard edge or a hard squeegee. You can use a squeegee. If you do, I recommend one that's very soft and flexible. I do indeed use one here. You can see me doing that. Now that squeegee is very soft and very flexible, and I'm just using it to help me get the rest of the vinyl to the top edge there. Then I'll proceed to do the same process on the bottom side there, using my finger initially to smooth it out. And you can see I'm kind of doing half moon motions following the curvature of the fog light surface there. And then as I get closer to the edge, I'm using my squeegee to help me out there, push everything down, make sure everything's got good solid contact to the surface. You can see that I'm trying to be careful not to get my fingers behind and just picking up the edge. This is why you want a little bit of extra excess vinyl around each side so that you can pick it up and touch it without putting your fingers behind the actual area that you're going to be applying the vinyl to. It does get a little bit tight in there because of how recessed the fog light is into that housing. So just take your time, be careful. You can see that I'm practically done here already. I've already got everything down. I'm just using that squeegee to help me get to the edge, using my finger to kind of roll it on the edge there a little bit, make sure I got good surface adhesion all the way through. Alright, so once I'm happy that I've got that all set and down, I'm going to take a couple pictures here real quick, look for any bubbles, and then have a heat gun ready. And what I'm going to do is just on light or low heat, give it a little bit of a heat, and what that will do is if there's any trapped bubbles, the heat will cause the air in that bubble to expand, and you'll be able to see it. And then from there, what you can do is either lift the vinyl back off, or if it's, say, like right in the middle of the headlight, just take the tip of a knife or a poker and pop just a small little hole in there, and then give it a kiss of heat, and then you can heat it out. The heat also causes the vinyl to relax, and you can kind of see it, or saw it do that when I gave it some heat around the edges. It'll relax around the edge of the fog light surface there. So now what I'm doing is taking my utility knife, and I'm poking through the edge, or through the vinyl, and running the side of my blade against the side of the fog light edge there. That way I'm using the fog light as my guide. And then the sharp part of my blade, of course, is not cutting anything except for the vinyl, but it is being guided nice and true with the using the side edge of the fog light. Now, because you're using a knife and cutting directly on the car and the vinyl, take your time with this. Be careful. Go slowly. Make sure the blade that you are using is very, very sharp. It should basically slice through the vinyl like butter with no resistance. If you feel any drag or resistance, that's two things. Your blade is either too dull or you've caught something, and so stop for a second. Make sure your blade is good. If not, click a new blade out and then start again, or pull it out and make sure that you're not trying to cut into the paint or anything like that. So there you see I finished cutting all the way through. Carefully peel off the excess vinyl. And I'm giving it just a little bit of heat there to make sure that all the edges that I just cut seal down. Warm it up, checking again for air bubbles that I might have missed in the first go. And then I'm just using my finger to kind of make sure everything's rolled down and sealed all the way nice and tight. So guys, that's basically the whole process there. I'm just giving it a look over, making sure I'm happy with it, giving it a little bit extra heat to make sure it sets. Vvivid vinyls do have heat activated adhesive, and so by giving it some more heat there, I'm activating the adhesive so that it will flow a little bit better. Take the camera off tripod, give you guys a little closer view of that. You can see that the vinyl is very transparent, and it's easy to apply. So hopefully you found this video to be informative and instructive, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so you can get any notifications of any new content that I might post. Thanks, guys.